myself together. I hope I put the right one on. I never be knowing. What's up, everyone? Let me see. Put this back. I hope I didn't do this. Did I do this listed? I'm not sure. We will see. Okay, cool. Hey, everyone. What's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up, everyone? How's everybody doing? Okay, so for a lot of, what's up? Let me just say hi to y'all. What's going on? I see Antoine is in the chat. I see Trey Sean's in the chat. I see Bryant, Reggie. One person just said, hey, Samantha. Well, hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you guys for tuning in. His house. Okay, I like it. I like it. Thank you guys. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Great to see everybody. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. I did somebody asked me, am I a cougar? I don't think I'm a cougar. I don't go, there's only, no, I'm not 48. That's for sure. I'm closer to 23 than 48. No, I am not. And you know what was the great thing about YouTube is that you don't have filters on YouTube. So like one day I'm gonna have a whole lighting package and a makeup package, and y'all won't be able to tell me nothing. Like when I have a hair makeup package, and people do my makeup, people do my hair every day, and I'm not wearing half hood, half holy shirt. Y'all won't know. Y'all won't know. I do. Okay. Frosty Cupcake. Are you somebody I can trust? I'm not sure if you're somebody I can trust because I've never seen you before. Okay. I don't do, somebody asked me about the whole, okay, women look better without makeup. I think, it depends on the woman. It depends on the woman. Not all women look better without makeup, just to be fair. And I'll be honest with you guys, makeup, and this is a tangent. This is not what we're going to talk about tonight, but makeup is an art. I've seen women, when they do their makeup, it's an art. Like to be able to get your face a certain way is an art. Right. And so I don't necessarily like when people, I get why people don't like it, but it's truly art. I mean, when I've had makeup artists go and do of course, I don't like a whole lot of makeup on my face. I feel like it's easy to do too much, but it's an art form, y'all. It's an art form. Okay. And no, a Frosty Cupcake, I appreciate you. The only thing is, yeah, when it's too much, y'all, it just starts to look a little, with me. And again, I'm from a day and age when I was growing up, my mother was not big on makeup, like not at all. Like I grew up in a different time. I have 2 brothers. I was the only girl. So makeup was not like a real, my mom was not big on that. Like she did not let me have it until a certain age. And then when I was wearing it too much, she took it away. So I didn't really get into the makeup groove like I did. What do I do? So, okay, well, you're right. Let's get into it. So for you guys that don't know, my name is Samantha Lee. I have a platform on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And I do content. You basically say that's a full-time job. And I also have a full-time job as a therapist. I'm a lead therapist at a nonprofit here in Georgia. And we serve youth in that organization. But I also create content full-time. As you know, if you follow any of my platforms, I put out content daily, almost daily. And so I'm able to, I love this. I love being able to come on here. I love being able to give my perspective, and I infuse my spirituality my education, just observations, experiences. I infuse it and I make my perspectives on cultural things, on things that I've experienced in my own life, and relationships, primarily relationships, because that's a passion part of mine. I would have honestly gotten my MFT, which here in, I don't know if other states have it differently, but MFT is marriage and family therapist. I would have loved to do that, and got that certification, but I didn't. Either way, extremely intrigued by relationships, and I love talking about it. So that is me. Therapist full time. You could say therapist by day, content creator by night. It's probably very accurate. With that, I do coaching on the side when it comes to uh, the content creation part. Do coaching. I also have a women's group called Power Up that I've had for a couple years now. I don't promote it as much because I don't push it as much. I don't. I have a group now, a solid group of women we've been rocking for years now. So that is what I do in a nutshell. I also have a podcast called More Than Just Pretty Podcast. I'm looking to do more things in 2025. I want to get into radio. I want to get into sports. I want to get into a lot of different things. I just have a lot of dreams. I have a lot of dreams. And so I work a lot. I work probably too much. But it's been really dope. And for those who have a full-time job, content creation, yes, it's a slow grind. You do have to have a level of patience and understanding for algorithms. I studied algorithms to understand them. But once you get into it, you generate a revenue. Just like with podcasts, you start to generate a revenue. So you can generate a revenue stream from every platform, really. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you can generate a revenue. And then I have a full-time job. So again, love what I do. And again, I would love to just take and do content creation and all things Samantha Lee, or love Samantha Lee. I would love to do that full time, and I will be doing that full time. That's what I'm going to do. My plan is to do in 2025. So if you guys would like, just go ahead and hit the like button. Hit the like button. It helps us tremendously when we're trying to get up in this algorithm. Okay, we got goals here, y'all, and I'm believing for great things here in 2025. So let's get into it. With that being said, pinned below is Pam. She has a donate. If you guys feel led to, I'm not one to keep asking. That's not my style. But if you guys feel led to, go ahead and hit the Cash App. It's pinned below. I won't be able to see it while I'm on the live. But after the live, I will definitely heart and thank each and every one of you guys who decide to contribute to me or contribute to the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. We really do want to do bigger and better things in 2025, and I can only do that with your help. So yeah. And okay. So my goal for this live is 200 likes, 250 likes by the end of the live. I think that's completely doable, but we're going to go into it. Let's get into it. So I put up a thing about questions people wanted to ask me before I got on this live, questions people wanted me to answer live. So they're very interesting questions. And so I am going to go ahead and answer those questions for you guys. All right. So somebody wrote one of the first things, which I thought was really funny. Somebody wrote dating as a single. Now, I would hope if you are dating that you are single. Okay, so that to me I just thought was funny, because I hope you're not dating as a not single person. Dating as a single person is I think that's dating. Because I would hope, I know there's people that date that aren't single. That's wrong. I believe you reap what you sow in this life, family. Don't be out here dating and you're not single. Okay. Now, if you deal with anybody, now I know I tell my brother this all the time. But I'm like, if you're dealing with a woman, and my brother, I'm not gonna wait. Let me stop, Sam. Don't say that. If you're dealing with a Spanish woman or Hispanic women, you do any type of woman, but there's men on here that they talk about Hispanic women a lot. I'm mixed with Spanish, so I get it because I kind of look primarily Hispanic at times. But you don't want to do that with them. Your life might be on the line with a woman that is of Hispanic descent. Just saying. So we do not desire, if somebody asks me if I'm Asian, no, I'm not Asian. I don't even think I look Asian. I'm mixed with a lot of stuff. Okay, so I'm mixed. But to make it simple for people, I'm white, black, and Hispanic. White, black, and Hispanic makes it very simple for everybody. White, black, and Hispanic. That is my mixture. That is when you put that all together, and what do you get? That's me. So that's that. Dating as a single. All right. So again, dating as a single. I don't really have anything to say to that because there's no question to that. I would just hope that if you are dating, you are single. Somebody said Latinas are spicy on fire. Yes. Okay. Trayshawn is definitely talking about. So no, it's Jamaican, Ecuadorian, and white. So it's a bunch of I'm a European mix. It's like Swedish, British, Jewish I have in there. There's I'm mixed with a bunch of different European type things. Okay. So I even think I have a little bit of Native American in me. I mean, I have a lot going on in my bloodstream. A lot going on in my bloodstream. That's why we try to make it simple here and just say white, black, and Hispanic. Yeah. Anyway. So, somebody, they wrote, a lot of one was like frequently vibe. So they talking about pretty. I could look at you all day. Like yourself. I find you so pretty. Okay. True teamwork in a relationship. True teamwork in a relationship. So I feel like, here's the thing, family. I don't think I see a lot of teamwork in relationships today. I think that, a good team means that both parties, not just one, both parties have to sacrifice. Both parties have to be willing to sacrifice. Both parties have to be willing to compromise. Both parties have to be willing to play a role. And I don't think that that's taught enough because it's always about instant gratification. What do I want? Give me what I want. Give me what I want. But if you play sports or you are on any team, you have to do what's best for the team. And that's not always what you want to do. That's not always what you were taught to do. Sometimes you have to play a role that is not what you're natural at because that's what's the best for the team. What I find is that a lot of people don't know how to be a teammate. And they want to be married, but they don't know how to be a teammate or a good teammate. And I think that's one of the bigger problems here. I also say that a lot of people just want to be married, but they don't really understand what it takes to be married. I meet a lot of women, and I hate to just put this on women because men do this too, but I see this a lot with women. They just want to be married. It's like, I want to be married. Okay. But marriage comes with stuff. Like, marriage is not easy. Marriage is not, we say I do and it's ice cream and cupcakes. It's a role. There's a role. There's a responsibility. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing, and I think that we just want the role because it makes us feel good. You somebody's wife, but that's not, what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the women that I watch on these shows, and I'm not saying all of them because some of them, they get it, but you see the Married at First Sight, you see these Love is Blind show, you see all these different women. Y'all not even willing to sacrifice for your friends. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not even willing to do things for your friends. How are you going to sacrifice for a man? Oh, he do this, he do that. Like like you have to, like, you're not ready. You're just not ready. And unfortunately, the way that we're breeding women and men today is not conducive or the best for lasting relationships, especially in the Black and brown community. That's just how I see it. Because of the music that is being put out here, there's a deeper agenda. They don't want us to have homes that are together. Okay, they just don't. They want us to have broken homes. They want us to be out here just moving around. That's what they want. That's why the music that they put behind, or the money that they put behind the music, is what it is. And of course, people, you could say whatever you want, but I believe that that's the reason why we have the influences that we have for young women in the minority community, and the influence we have for men in the minority community, because they don't want you to get married and to have successful relationships. That's just how I feel. And so when I say they, which Isaiah, you've been on all my lives, you know what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the machine. Okay? Music is pushed by a machine. Most artists that are signed to labels, they're not independent, they're going to be pushed by a machine. Okay? Just like you might hear a song one time, you might not like it, but if they push a song long enough or as many times enough, they can make that song hot, because it's the law of repetition. It's a psychological fact that if I hear it or see it enough, I might buy it. I might start liking it. That's just what it is. And so I think that there's an agenda to the music that's put out to minority communities, and that's to be able to keep the people at the top, people at the bottom at the bottom. Like I just saw the other day, I got on this conversation the other day, really, and they were talking about people and things like that. I was like, okay, what is the wealthiest race in America? Is the most married race in America. It is what it is. I don't care if they got several, several billion. They're getting married. 86% of billionaires and 85% of millionaires. They might get married multiple times, but I promise you they don't stay married. And there's a reason for that. There's an agenda for that. I'm not going to get into that today. There's benefits to men being married, but they don't want people of certain communities to be seen in a certain light, so they don't push marriage in that community. That's just what it is. You go into a business meeting and you're married, they look at you differently. It is what it is. As a man, and women, we get benefits too, but men for sure get benefits for being married. It just, but in certain communities, it's not pushed. What's pushed is violence. What's pushed is singleness. What's pushed is hypersexuality. What's pushed is all these other things. Nothing about marriage is pushed. And there's a reason for that. There is. But again, that's just what it is. So that's my little soapbox. I'm gonna get off of this. That's just that. If somebody said, what are the benefits? Look it up. There's a reason why Trump has got married 3 times. There's a reason why Jeff Bezos, the richest man in America, is getting married again. He's worth $248 billion. He gave half to his first wife, and he's still the richest man in America. Going in between him and Elon Musk. He's not the richest man in America. He's the richest man in the world. Excuse me. My bad. Richest man in the world. In fact, if you look at it, can y'all see me? I need to get off this topic, y'all. I'm going to get kicked off. Y'all, I'm gonna stop. Because I'm gonna get kicked. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not gonna get in trouble. I'm getting off the topic. Let me get back. Yeah, that was weird. I'm not gonna keep going with this. I'm not. Because this is a soapbox. It's me, okay? I'm just saying. I didn't mean, and I didn't even mean it, I wouldn't even say nothing bad about Trump at all. I wouldn't say anything negative about him. I'm saying he's married. That's a fact. I'm not even trying to say anything negative. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that we don't push marriage in certain communities, and I feel like that's not to our benefit. All right, let's get to another question. I'm sorry, y'all. No, you can Google the reasons how it benefits men to be married. You could Google it. Google it. It's Googleable. just companies are more likely to do business. Like if you look at like a LeBron James or a Steph Curry, they're marketable. People trust married men. I don't now does that mean they're trustworthy? I don't know if they are or they're not. But people look at them as trustworthy because they're married. They give off the sense of being stable. They give off the sense of being loyal. They give off the sense of being something that you can confide in, that you can trust. Okay, so because of that, married men, by statistics, you can look it up, make more money. Most times when somebody goes into office, what do? If they're single, they get married. They're, a preacher, they're probably going to get married. There's just certain things that people do when they're trying to get further in the business world. They get married because it's just looked at as something that is they just trust. It just is. And you don't have to like it. But it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on. I'm sorry. That's enough. Let's move on. Because this is not I don't want to get in trouble. Listen, I'm not saying nothing negative about nobody. I'm just talking about marriage. Y'all know I'm on my marriage thing this year. That's just, I'm advocating for that. Okay, so that's just not it. Let's move on. Okay, somebody asked me how not to get easily distracted by everything going on around us, but stay true to our God purpose. To be honest with you, what I do when it comes to trying to stay focused, I don't watch the news. I know that sounds crazy. I just don't watch the news. And I think that I try to limit my time on social media. That's something like I feel like God has given me or told me to do. But I just, the news, it brings fear, right? It doesn't bring peace. People can look at that any type of way, but I protect my peace. I'm very serious about my peace. And, if peace is me not knowing, peace is what I'm going to take my peace over that. And so I know there's a lot going on in the world. And I'm very, very sure of it. But every time I watch the news, I get fear. I feel anxious. I feel like those are not from God. Because God says, I do not give you a spirit of fear. He's like, I give you a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. He does not give a spirit of fear. So I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. That's not my thing. So that's one thing I do. I also limit my time on social media because I think social media is a trap as well. I like social media. I enjoy social media. And I used to love being on social media. But I noticed if you look at the statistics, people that spend more than 2 hours on social media have mental health issues. They have mental health issues. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. They tend to have depression, anxiety, just because social media, you're constantly looking at other people's lives and what they're doing and what they got going on. And you get in this place of comparison. So if you look up, I'm actually going to Google it. Hopefully this thing works quickly. Hold on. Social media. It says excessive social media use also has costs. It's addiction, loneliness, depression, reduced self-esteem, and reduced ability to develop meaningful relationships. And they're saying that teens are nearly spending 5 hours daily on social media apps. And they rate their overall mental health as poor or very poor. So I have tried to limit my statistics show the best thing to do is to limit your social media intake to under 2 hours. So I try to spend less than 2 hours or one to two. I don't know what's going on today. Can y'all see me? And it says that 2 hours average time is spent on women on social media, and about 2 hours men spend on social media. So it's just you got to be careful, right? Where you put your energy on. All right. So that's it. Social media is like TV, but I think I look at YouTube separately. Like if you even in the way your phone breaks down the medias, it says even with the way they break down the medias on your phone, YouTube and YouTube TV is considered entertainment. Is not considered like social media. But like, TikTok and all those other things, like, yeah, it can be a lot. So you just want to be careful with that. You want to be careful with that. But that's a way for me to protect my peace and not be inundated with all the stuff that you see on the internet, Why women can't forgive like God? Can they do better? Somebody asked, why women can't forgive like God? Can they better? Now, guys, here's my thing with that. Can't nobody forgive like God. Women, I think women, it just depends on the woman, honestly, on their levels of forgiveness. And I think some women, it takes longer to forgive, especially depending on what you did to need to be forgiven. But yeah, forgiveness with women, yeah. You can't, like, men can be, to me. Thank you, Kayla Green. Shout out to you for the first super chat. They said, she said, Samantha, try cracking your knuckles. Well, I appreciate the super chat, but I ain't gonna crack my knuckles now. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you, Kayla. But yeah, no, women, can't nobody forgive like God. Women just, some women are very forgiving, some women aren't. Just like some men are forgiving, some men aren't. Just depends on the person. I feel like it's not women versus men. It's personality type. Some people are just more forgiving than other people when it comes to personality. That's just how I look at it. So I don't think we should just say why women, why men, because we're generalizing, and that's not fair. Not everybody's the same. Somebody asked me, how do I let a woman know I need to be held? You tell them you want to be held. I think most men, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, and then I know there's women in the chat. I think most men want to be held. I think most men like being held. They like being touched. And I'm not just talking about like y'all want to go straight to the other side. Like I'm not talking about like, the neck, I'm not talking about that. Okay, I already got in enough trouble on this live. But I'm talking about like just intimate touch. They want to be touched. Not just by anybody, but like by the women that they're with, they want to be touched. They want to be, they like that. So I think women need to be, I think women, we need to do a better job of that. Okay? I know, I'll be honest, I'm keep it real with y'all. I'm not the most touchy-feely person. I know that might be surprising. I'm not the most touchy-feely person. I've had to learn that, like, especially in like, you in a relationship, you gotta be more touchy-feely. So I'm like cognizant of that. Like I'm okay. You gotta be more open, to that. I'm just not that kind of like, I'm just not. But because that's what I'm saying. Like when I see these shows and people say like, oh, I'm not going to do this or I'm not going to do that. Oh, this is who I am. Like there are things that I am that are not conducive to being with like another person, another human being. That doesn't mean that I don't alter certain things for that person, Be my therapist. Thank you, A. I appreciate that. Thank you, A. Yes, I'm not the most cuddly person. I'm not. And even with my daughter, it was, I love my baby, and I have, her being, there's times where I've had to open myself up. Like I'm not like cuddly like that, but I make sure that I'm holding her, I'm cuddling her, you know, like that's not who I am naturally, but I try to like understanding that other people have touch needs, right? And you can't be so caught up on who you are that you don't meet somebody else's needs. Like you got to be able to be like, okay, this is what this person may need. It might not be natural for me, but I'm still going to be considerate of what they need. So anybody that's watching, any women that's watching, I think most men like to be touched. And I'm not talking about like just, you know, we're not just talking about other things. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about just touched. You know, they like that. They want to feel like you want them. Right? And I think that a lot of women don't do that very well. We don't show a man that we desire him. And I think that that's something that I've heard a lot from men. And there's women on the chat. I'm trying to put y'all on game. Like, you got to let your man know you want him. And that's not, here's the thing, that's not natural, right? We've been taught that we get desired, but we don't express desire. We don't express those things to a man. That's not fair, right? Men desire that too. They want to feel like you want them. They want to feel like, you know, you appreciate them and that you see them and that they're desirable to you. Because if you don't, another woman will. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of us be acting like, oh, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. And watch that next woman come up in there and do that. Watch her fill your man's head up. I'm drinking sparkling water, y'all. I'm drinking sparkling water. That's why I say we got to do a better job of just being open to like meeting both of each other in the middle. We can't just be so, sorry, y'all. This comment just got me out. Sam Lucas in the NBA. No, he got traded to the Lakers. He's been in the NBA. He got traded to the Lakers. Sam Lucas in the NBA. He been in the NBA. He just got traded to the Lakers. Let's get the right news flash, please. You got traded to the Lakers. There's a lot of trades that have been happening. You know your girl been watching. But no, he's in the y'all, I'm not gonna say Luka Doncic. I don't want to say it wrong, but Luka Doncic. He went from the Mavericks, big trade, huge trade, because no one expected nobody to trade him, but he was traded. And Anthony Davis went to the Mavericks. Anyway, that's besides the point. Whole point is that we're going to move on. How to let a woman know I want to be held. Just tell her I want to be held. Can you hold me? Can you hold me? Can you hold me? I don't understand. Like a lot of guys, I think today they're not being open as I feel like I feel like they need to be, and I understand why. It's not necessarily the culture to be vulnerable, but I think that if you in a relationship with somebody, you should be able to tell them you want to be held. Like if you feel you don't feel safe sharing that with the person you're with, you're probably with the wrong person. I'm just being honest. If I can't tell my man to hold me, he's probably not my man. If he is my man, he will not be my man. You better hold me. I'm telling you to hold me. You better hold me. I say hold me. I don't ask for being held often. That's all I'm saying is, when it comes down to it, if you're with somebody and they're not willing to meet your needs and you're not being unreasonable in what you're asking for, and they're just like, I'm not going to do it because it's not what I want to do, then you got to think about, is this person a good teammate? Going back to the first question. that person's not a good teammate. You got to be willing to compromise. You got to be willing to play roles that you don't necessarily, you're not used to, or you're not normally willing to play. Like, it just is what it is. What if he asks and she gets the ick? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly that's what I'm saying. If you ask your woman to hold you and she gets the ick, that's probably not, that she shouldn't have been your woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I feel like if you with somebody and you can't express your needs to them, then that's not your woman. That's how I look at it. That's just what I think. That makes, oh no. Was it that, what was that Omarion song? Let Me Hold You. Was that what it was? I don't remember. Let me hold you. What was that song? Was it? Who sang that? Hey, I can't think of it. Okay. Somebody said, what's wrong with staying single? Nothing's wrong with staying single. Nothing is wrong with staying single, family. Somebody asked me, what is wrong with staying? All I'm saying, family. Okay, so I know that I've been on my little thing, and I get why you would think that I have a problem being single. I am not saying that there's a problem with being single. Okay? That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, however, and wherever, is this. There is a single agenda, and I don't want to contribute to it. Now, if you feel like you want to be single, do you? I'm not stopping you from anything. I don't know what is going on right now. Like, this has never happened. This has never happened. It has reconnected 3 times. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's a YouTube thing. It has to be, because I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with being single. There's nothing wrong with being single, but my issue with the whole single agenda, I'm not going to contribute to that. You know, I think most people desire connection, because y'all wouldn't be out here like this if you didn't desire connection. It's just connection and accountability and responsibility. I know that might scare people, and I understand that. I'm not negating that. I'm not trying to take away from that. I get that. However, if you're out here and you like being around women, you probably desire connection. That's just what it is. And I feel like in our world, we're not pushing, I don't want to be contributing to the propaganda that's pushing certain messages. You know, I just don't want to be, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of that. I was a part of that. I was a part of that whole, you know, dating, single. No, and I don't want to be, I'm starting to see things that I did not see before. But yeah, and I'm not willing to do that. And again, that might not get me the most popular, to be honest with you guys, but it's not even about just dating single. I'm just not going to be pushing dating. Like, just date forever, or just like, you know, that's not what I don't want to do that. And I think I was putting a lot of content, admittedly putting a lot of content out about dating and like singleness and things like that. And that's because that's a season I was in. And I did that, you know, and I think that I'm getting out of that season of my life where, you know, that was good for me. Like, just being on my own and doing my own thing. Like, now I'm more open to connections, but it's like, I think, you know, when you put out that energy, that's the energy you receive. And I think that seeing a lot of different things on the internet and seeing a lot of people put things out there and it's not necessarily their truth. And I always have wanted what I put out here to be something I genuinely feel. I don't want to put something out here that I don't genuinely feel. Because I'm not great at acting. I'm not great at hiding what I actually feel, right? So I wanted to, if I was going to do this, and I'm going to put out content as frequently as I do, I have to do things that I believe and that resonate with me. And so with that being said, I really do feel strongly about a certain agenda being pushed that keeps minorities single. I just do. And I don't want to be contributing to that. Because I think that there's an agenda behind that. And I don't want to contribute to that. I feel strongly about that. Anyway. Now I'm not going to get into it because I'm already getting off, they already throwing me off here. So no, why would I be, first of all, Trayshawn, ain't nobody, I don't even try out for acting. I've been asked to do acting projects, but I'm not an actress. I'm not an actress. So I don't think that that's my thing. Like I can do like hosting. I can, I have an opinion about things, but I'm not an actress. I'm just not. And maybe God will move me into that, but until God moves me into that, I'm not going to do that. All right, moving along. Whew. So somebody said alpha, sigma, beta, gamma, all those types. Now, y'all, I on this channel, I have talked about sigma males, and that was because that particular type of male for me was really attractive. I liked the silent, unsuspecting guy that kind of comes in and he's like the lone wolf. He don't really need nobody. And he just, people just are attracted to his energy, attracted to what he does and how he moves. And just kind of like, I just liked that. I was attracted to that type of guy. And I talked about that type of guy on this particular channel. Now, again, I didn't really know what that was until it was identified to me, and then I was like, oh, well, I like that particular type of guy more than anything. So I basically did a lot of content related to that type of guy because I was most attracted to that type of guy, to just the attributes of that particular type of guy. And so I can't speak to all the different types of guys. I can speak to the one that I thought was the most attractive or most appealing to me. But yeah, that's what that is. I think at this point we can't put qualifications. I think it's more about whether or not, like, I think I'm attracted to men that have more masculine traits. Like if I can feel a masculine energy, and I'm very attracted to masculine energy. I just am. If a man is more like doesn't feel that, like I feel more masculine than them, that's not attractive to me because I do have a strong energy, but I don't want to be the strongest energy in my relationship. So if I feel like I'm the strongest energy, I'm turned off by that. I want a more dominant energy. Like I like that. I like being with somebody more dominant. But again, people like different things. And so I don't really get into that type of like grouping and things like that because I think that it's more, I think it isolates people. You know what I'm saying? I think it isolates people. And I don't want to isolate people because they're not this or they're not that or they're not this type of guy or that type. Like, I don't want to do that. We have enough classifications in society. I'm not going to add or contribute to those classifications that separate us versus togetherness. My goal is togetherness, not separate. Y'all have to understand that. My goal this year is togetherness, is not to put out information that separates us any more than we already are. Somebody said I am masculine. I like masculine energy. Like I said, I like masculine energy. That's just what I'm on right now. That is exactly what I'm on. I'm on like just togetherness. Not like, oh, forget men, forget women. Like, no, I mean, like I'm obviously going to speak. I told you guys before, I treat this channel as something like me putting men on game. I like that because I have brothers. So I like putting men on game. And so with me, when I do that, or when I make decisions like that, I enjoy it. I like having conversations. I like making, doing content. I've said decisions. I like making content like that because I like putting men on game. I understand women in a certain way, and I like doing that. And so I will continue to do that because I do feel like that is necessary in today's climate. However, I don't want to put out content that is creating more separate. That's not the word. That is keeping us separate. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's what I just think, y'all. It's like so much like separate. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to do more division or anything. I'm just not. Because we're better together. I mean, I really believe that. I believe that if there's a man that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. It was a comment that just like threw me off. I think that a woman that finds a man is a good thing. That's a great thing. And I think if a man finds a woman, that's a great thing. Like two together. What do they say? One can put 1,000 to flight. Two could put 10,000 to flight. Like, I think that we're better together. So I'm not going to put out propaganda to keep us separate when we're more powerful together. That's just how I look at it. So anyway, guys, I'm going to start answering questions in the chat in the last 3 minutes. And then I also want to ask you guys what you want to talk about on Wednesday. What you guys want to talk about on Wednesday? So, sis, what are some examples of masculine traits for a lot of women? Masculinity seems to be looks and physical attractiveness, nothing more. That's a great question. Thank you for the super chat as well. Sis, what are some examples of masculine traits for a lot of women? Masculinity seems to be looks and physical attractiveness and nothing more. I really love this question. Thank you so much for the super chat because this is a great question and it's a super chat. Thank you. Masculinity to me, I can't really 100% describe, but it's definitely, you can look masculine for sure, but have feminine energy, right? So, and I'm not saying feminine in the sense, I'm trying to, some men have a more dominant leader energy. I like men that feel like leaders. I want to be led. I don't want to lead you. That's why I have an issue with the whole, I'm not going to pursue you. I'm not going to run after you. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to do those things. You're the man. I want to follow the leader. Like, that's what I want to do. And if I don't feel like I'm following someone that wants to lead, I don't want to be a part of it. Because I don't want to be the one that's calling shots. I don't want to be the one that's leading. So I feel like someone who has leader energy, naturally leader energy, right? Somebody that, I don't think masculine energy has to exert itself. It doesn't have to be loud or aggressive, like super aggressive. It doesn't have to put on a show. It just is. It just exists, right? And so I think, like, I'm trying to think of an example like that I see in Hollywood. Like, that would be my best way to do it. But like a Denzel, right? I think Denzel has very masculine energy. He's not trying to exert himself. Idris Elba, not trying to exert themselves. They're not trying to like impose themselves. They're not trying to, oh, I'm a man, blah, 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 blah. They're smooth. They're not really talking that much. They're not really doing too much, but they're leaders. You know that if they're in a room, they're probably the leader of the room, right? And so they don't have this when they talk, you listen. They're not chatty. They're not like talking about other people's business. They're not like gossipy. They're just very, they are about their business. They talk what they need to talk about and they move on. They about their stuff. And they're leaders. They have leader energy. And so because of that, they have a masculine presence about them. They don't have to be the loudest person in the room. They don't have to be the one that's like trying to get everybody's attention. They just are. They're just there, right? And you're going to notice them. You're going to notice them. They don't have to, but they're very, very masculine and they're very comfortable and secure. They're not trying to be anything that they're not, right? And I really appreciate about their masculine presence, right? Morris Chestnut is that type of guy as well. He's a handsome guy. He's definitely masculine presenting, but he's not trying to exert. He's not over talking. He's not trying to make himself seen. He's just there. He just is. You ask him a question, he answers it. He's not getting into people's business. He's not being messy. He just is. He handles his business privately. He handles what he got to handle and he moves on. He's not doing too much. That to me is very, very attractive, right? Because it's very it's focused energy. It's strategic energy. It's disciplined energy. It's not getting into mess. It's not messy. It's not all over the place. It's not extra. It's focused. It's like, I'm here. I got something to say. I move on. That's how I look at it. Some men, they want to be in everybody's business. Some men, they want to be messy. Some men, they want to be loud and they want to do a lot of different things just to say, hey, I'm a man. It's like, I feel like for me, a masculine energy that I appreciate is more under the radar. More like, you know I'm here, but I'm not trying to exert or overdo it or be performative about who I am as a man. Y'all know who I am. So I really like that energy. Like subtle, very good, subtle. Do I like men that are confident and a pinch cocky or demure? I like men that are confident and no, I don't like, I say a humble confidence. I like a man that is confident, but also understands that there's he's not so on air that he can't, he feels like, so, because, how do I say, when you're arrogant, it's almost like insecurity playing dress up. Like you don't really, when you're confident and you have a certain security of self, you can take criticism. You can compromise. You can say, you know what, I probably can work on this. I can do this a little bit better. When you're arrogant and you can't be told what to do and you don't listen to nobody, you're not coachable, you're not you go into different professions and whatever, and people don't want to work with you, you're not a pleasure to work with or work for. It's because you have an arrogance about you that's not easy to be with or to work for. That's just not it. But when you have a humble confidence, I know who I am, I know my worth, I know my value, I know what I bring to the table, but I'm also not so up in the sky with the Care Bears that I can't relate to, and have a human experience. I'm not relatable. I'm not somebody that is down to earth and can have a conversation and and I can hear things about myself and feel like, you know what, I could probably do better here. There's a humble confidence that's very, very attractive to me. I like it when a man, he knows his value. You can clearly see he got swag, he got energy, but he has a humility about him that's super attractive too. That's I can take accountability for what I've done. I can own where I need to grow. That type of stuff is very, very attractive to me. And I think to most women. Yeah, I call it like, I don't like it when it's like peacocking. They talk about that. Like when somebody's like putting all their feathers out and they trying to like show themselves like, ooh, I'm a man. I got all this money. I got all this stuff. I got, oh yeah, what? I'm that guy. What? Yeah, y'all don't know what? It's like, okay, yeah, no. Because you're not secure. A man who's secure don't have to perform. You ain't got to be performative. You don't have to say, oh, I'm a man. Hear me roar. Like, no, I know that you're a man. I can feel it. I can feel your energy. When I feel your energy, it's gonna make me want to be, it's gonna calm me down. Like a masculine presence calms me down. Cause I'm like, oh, it's a man. Okay. I don't have to be on. Like I remember being, and I'm gonna say this is my last story, and then we'll get into what we want to talk about for Wednesday. But I remember being in a dating relationship with a guy, and I felt like super sweet guy, nicest, most loving person. He was such a sweet, great guy, genuinely great guy, genuinely. The problem for me was I never felt safe. I never felt like he could protect me on any given day, like ever. Never felt like he could, like if there was if push was going to come to shove, I'm going to have to swing first. That's how I felt. I was like, I liked him as a person. I felt like and I liked him. I genuinely liked him. But the fact that I didn't feel like he could protect me in any way, shape, or form, I remember walking with him and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I remember seeing something suspicious. I'm like, if something was to go down, I'm trying to strategize how I'm going to protect us. I'm strategizing how I'm going to protect us. Because I didn't feel like he could protect us. And I'm like, again, look, I'm not the biggest woman in the world. I'm like, 5'5", and I'm, at that point, I was like, maybe I was thicker then. I was like 150 maybe. But, 5'5", now 130, 135. So I like, yeah, and I don't mind. I don't mind, protecting myself. I was taught to be able to protect myself. I, feel like I can protect myself, and I'm going to do the best job I know to do to protect myself. However, I want to be with a man that I feel safe with. Like, I feel like if something was to go down, if push was to come to shove, he throwing hands first. Listen. Unfortunately for me, I typically date men that fight. I really do. I normally date men that fight. Like, I don't know why. I think I attract men that fight. I don't know what it is. But it's like men that train, usually they box, they fight, they do some type of fighting combat. And I don't know if it's because I like to box. That's something I like to do. But I attract that type of man. They normally, more 9 times out of 10, if I'm dating you, I'm going to find out either before, during, or after that you fight too. Like, that's just what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I like fighters. I don't know. That's just how they fight. I like me a fight man. I don't know. I probably shouldn't have said that, but I do. I like, Jesus, Lord have mercy. Okay, calm down, Sam, calm down. Not toxic. First of all, here's a thing, Glam Channel, and I'm talking too much, but this is the point. Most men that like are fighting in a gym or train in a gym, like when I train in a gym and I, do a little boxing now, you're taught discipline. Like, you're not just swinging on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not just picking fights. I find it when people are just picking fights and they fight like that, they haven't learned in a real environment. Like when you learn how to fight, you pick your fights more because you don't have to do that. I feel like people that are more insecure about what they can do fighting, they pick more fights. Whereas like people that actually feel like they can fight and they box and they go into the gym, they have more discipline. They're like, I don't need to do this because he really ain't finna do nothing to me. Like you just more choosy because you feel more confident. Yeah, my shirt says half hood, half holy, y'all. Half hood, half holy. It says, play with me. No, pray with me, don't play with me. That's what it says. So fitting for the conversation right now. No, I don't like drama. I just like a man that I feel like he look like he gonna do something. He don't even have to do nothing. He just gotta look like he gonna do something. Like if a man I just see that he can protect me, he don't have to actually ever protect me. But if he like looks like he could protect me, I like that. I like that. That's like really attractive. Okay. He just gotta look like he gotta do something right. All right. How can you box with long nails? I don't know. I mean, I do it. They're not that long. My nails are not super long. They're like kind of long. Not like really, really long. You see? They're not that long. Like if they were super long, yes, but they're not that long. I can fight with these. I mean, box, I can hit the bag with it. I just did it today. I didn't break a nail. Anyway. Anyway. All right, guys. So what do we want to talk about on Wednesday before I jump off? What do we want to talk about on Wednesday, y'all? Before we jump off tonight. What are some topics we want to talk about? Luca and LeBron. Oh my goodness. I just talked to my trainer about that. All he been talking about to me is like Luca and LeBron. I'm like, okay. How long is Luca? Isn't Luca hurt right now? When does he start playing again? Like in a month or two? How important is accountability? Ooh, that's a good one. He's hurt. That's what I said. That's what I said. I knew probably after All-Star. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know it was 2 weeks. Wow, never mind. I was doing a lot. All right, come on, guys. What comments? How can you help your partner through your insecurities? Luca got traded. What TV shows do you like? I watch YouTube. I watch basketball, but I watch a lot of YouTube. Philip said his Korean wife is a black belt in Taekwondo. She kicks his butt every day. Interesting. How to make a woman fly you out. How to make a woman fly you out? Oh my goodness. I like that. That's funny. Let me read the rest of the comment. I'm sorry. How to make women invest in a man? Like invest financially in a man or just invest? That sounds like a good topic. How do you make a woman invest in you? Emotionally invest? Okay, so we'll just talk about that. How to make a woman invest. We'll talk about how finding yourself again after having a child. That's a good one, Rhea. I like that. How do we establish more togetherness between men and women in these current times? Really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. What type of man do I like? I've already said this before. Already said it. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off for tonight. I've already been on longer than I wanted to. I just got on a tangent. I will be going back on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There is not a Discord for this channel. That is something that I can think about or consider moving forward, but there's not a Discord at this time. But I will talk about. Sorry, somebody just asked me a question. Just throw me off. I'll talk about how could you jump off without talking about LeBron. What do I need to talk about? I talked about Luka and LeBron. I already said this. What do you want me to say? Like, they said, one guy said Luka was in the NBA. I said, no, he got traded to the Lakers. I brought the conversation up. What do we mean? You know? Anyway. So, I am going to, somebody like, I'm going to jump off. Signs of a good marriage partner. That's not a bad one either. I will be jumping off tonight. I have some ideas. Thank you guys for tonight. I will be back on 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday night, and we will be doing a full show. Like I said, I'll be doing like topics, hot topics. I did see certain things this weekend, or well, not this weekend because I was on social media, but today. So we'll talk about some things that I saw. Yeah, so I will be jumping back on hot topics. We'll talk about a little bit of that, and we'll talk about a little bit of sports because I did not address some of the big major trades, and I'm sure we'll have more trades to talk about. I think the trade deadline's Tuesday, tomorrow. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Otherwise than that, I am going to jump off. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everybody that contributed to the live. Those who contributed financially, thank you so much. Thank you guys who hit the Cash App. I appreciate y'all as well. And I will be going back live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday night. Again, it'll be a full show with, and I'll be on TikTok, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. I'll be going live. So we'll do all of that on Wednesday. Okay? Love you guys, and I will see you guys soon.